It was a cold Tuesday night. Across the United States, voters huddled around TV sets, radios blaring, eagerly awaiting the results of one of the most pivotal elections in post-Watergate America. The race between the incumbent President Gerald R. Ford and the former Georgia Governor Jimmy Carter had been neck and neck. The wounds of the Watergate scandal still ached, but Ford had worked tirelessly to rebuild trust. And then, just after midnight on the East Coast, the networks began to call it. NBC News projects President Gerald Ford has been re-elected. He will serve a full term after completing the final years of Richard Nixon's presidency. The crowd in Ford's campaign headquarters erupted. Against all odds and historic trends, he had done it. The first unelected president had now been elected by the American people. Jimmy Carter, visibly stunned but composed, called Ford to concede. History had just changed course. Like and subscribe for more. Also, don't forget to hit that notification bell for more history documentaries. Please watch the video till the end, as good interaction would help the performance of the video and the growth of my channel massively. What went differently? The key factors behind Ford's victory. To understand how Ford could have realistically defeated Carter in 1976, we need to identify what needed to change. Debate performance. In our timeline, Ford made a serious gaffe during the second presidential debate by stating that there is no Soviet domination of Eastern Europe, which hurt his credibility. In this alternate reality, Ford avoids the mistake or quickly recovers with a stronger clarification. Economic messaging. Inflation and unemployment were major issues. Ford, with a more focused economic message, perhaps emphasizing long-term stability and his Whip Inflation Now program, successfully reassures moderate and swing voters. Campaign strategy. A more aggressive ground game in swing states like Ohio and Wisconsin helps Ford flip just enough electoral votes. Democratic weaknesses. Carter's vague policy positions and lack of federal experience raise doubts. Ford's seasoned, steady image wins over undecided voters. Public reaction and Jimmy Carter's next moves. Carter's loss stuns many Democrats, especially in the South. While gracious in defeat, Carter returns to Georgia disillusioned. He does not pursue national office again, instead focusing on humanitarian and global development work much earlier, possibly founding the Carter Center in the late 1970s instead of 1982. Meanwhile, the American public experiences a mix of emotions: relief for continuity, disappointment among reform-minded voters, and cautious optimism among centrists. The Ford win signals that the country is ready to move past Watergate, albeit slowly. Ford's second term. Stability over radical change. Cabinet and agenda. With a full term, Ford builds a more cohesive team. Donald Rumsfeld remains chief of staff, but key roles are reshuffled. He continues with a pragmatic, center-right agenda, focusing on controlling inflation through fiscal restraint, government reform to rebuild trust, moderate environmental regulation, especially in the wake of growing climate awareness, economy and social issues. The late 1970s still face economic stagflation. Ford likely pursues a more technocratic approach, appointing experienced economists and avoiding major deregulation efforts. His second term might delay or weaken the growing conservative movement, forestalling some of Reagan's later policies. Socially, Ford maintains a balanced approach. He supports the Equal Rights Amendment and vetoes overly restrictive abortion legislation, keeping moderate Republicans and independents on his side. The oil crisis, Iran, and foreign policy. The oil crisis. Ford works with Secretary of State Henry Kissinger and OPEC nations to stabilize energy supplies. While gas lines don't vanish overnight, a steadier hand and proactive diplomacy lead to slightly improved energy resilience. Iranian Revolution and hostage crisis. The Shah still falls in 1979. However, Ford's pre-existing ties with the CIA and State Department possibly allow for more effective evacuation planning. The embassy may not be overrun, or the hostage crisis, if it occurs, is shorter and less politically damaging. Camp David Accords. Ford may not achieve Carter's dramatic 1978 peace summit, but progress toward peace between Egypt and Israel continues. Kissinger's shuttle diplomacy returns, possibly delaying, but not preventing, a future Camp David-style framework. Cold War dynamics. Ford maintains détente with the USSR but also strengthens NATO. His presidency prevents the full swing toward the aggressive rhetoric seen in Reagan's early years. Vice President Bob Dole, the rising star. Ford replaces Nelson Rockefeller with Senator Bob Dole in 1976, appealing to the conservative base. As VP for 4 years, Dole gains vital executive experience and name recognition. Dole becomes the natural Republican frontrunner in 1980, now with a robust resume and national presence. His moderate conservative blend appeals to many, possibly derailing Reagan's momentum in the primaries. The 1980 election, a new political landscape. Republican primary. Bob Dole, as Ford's VP, runs as the establishment candidate. Reagan still challenges him, but struggles against the incumbent machine and Dole's broader appeal. John B. Anderson either runs as a liberal Republican spoiler or again as an independent. Democratic primary. Carter, having lost in 1976, does not run. Ted Kennedy enters the race, facing opposition from moderate Democrats like Walter Mondale. A fierce primary battle ensues, but Kennedy clinches the nomination amid hopes of restoring a Camelot vision. General election. Dole versus Kennedy becomes a high-stakes, ideological showdown. With a competent record and Ford's endorsement, Dole narrowly defeats Kennedy in a close 1980 race. The Reagan Revolution never truly materializes. Gerald Ford's legacy rewritten. In this reality, Ford is remembered not just as the accidental president, but as the man who healed a divided nation post-Watergate, stabilized the economy during volatile times, avoided major foreign policy disasters, appointed a strong VP, and shaped a moderate GOP. His reputation improves dramatically, no longer a caretaker president, but a statesman who provided competent, pragmatic leadership through turbulent times. Historians rate him in the top third of 20th century presidents for his integrity, steadiness, and bipartisan spirit. Conclusion: a different path for America. Gerald Ford's election in 1976 sets America on a more moderate path, delaying the rise of polarizing ideologies and emphasizing stability over spectacle. Dole's presidency continues this legacy, and the GOP becomes more centrist. The Democratic Party, meanwhile, shifts leftward earlier, setting the stage for new battles in the 1980s and beyond. The ripple effects are immense, from the Cold War to Middle Eastern diplomacy to domestic politics, all because of a few key changes on one November night in 1976. What do you think? Write your opinion and version of the story in the comments below. Please be polite and kind. If you want to know what would have happened if Dewey defeated Truman in 1948, click on the video on the left. Thanks for watching.